Hello, 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 hello. I was about to start writing notes for this episode. I have exactly 4 different characters. Characters in the form of letters and or numbers. Hello, I'm going to try something different today because I have recently passed the milestone of 50 fucking episodes of the Digital Quill Podcast. What is life? What are humans? Life is quite weird, isn't it? Let's talk about that today. Let's talk about how weird life is, how weird humans are, right? Do you ever, wonder where you come from? Or why you come from that place, or where that place that you come from comes from? Yes? No? Maybe so? If you do, answer that in the comments below, because I need comment engagement. And the other thing that I also was about to note, I don't mean to tell you guys what to do. I literally, at the end of the day, don't care, because life is the meaning you make. The meaning you put to it. And at the end of the day, nothing matters. Not comments, not likes, not shares, not even really experience, because I'm going to share something with you that I shared with my TikTok earlier. I'm not going to disclose the website that I'm on at the moment. Let's see here. Go to my about page. So this isn't an about page, one that I had to rewrite recently. And I am going to leave out, I'll just say the same words I said in the TikTok, because this is a different medium than TikTok. Ugh. This is just before we actually get into the various content of today's episode, this is just a random smorgasbord of topics and vices and virtues and just everything. If you've been here before, you know that I can go on tangent after tangent after tangent about anything from the silliest, stupidest stuff to the probably potentially intelligent stuff. I don't really know. Intelligence is a weird fallacy to me. Okay. Now that that's been said about me on this place. When you've been through hell and back a few dozen times over, undergone years of therapy, read countless books, have talked to numerous people, and you still have no clue, some things begin to add up and subtract all at once. Life is largely what we make it. The experiences we have, the choices we make, the perspectives we keep. I am no saint. I am not even sure what that means anymore. Saints. What a funny concept. I've learned a lot. I have figured out a lot about what I want, about who I am, about what I want to do. I have much to learn. I will always have much to learn. An absolute I am actually fond of. My mission? Love. Always love. Light, peace, learning, growing, creating, connecting, coexisting. Why? I went through a lot. Rape, unfit parents, bullying, cheating, lies, betrayal, an insurmountable amount of things. I don't want others to experience the same. See my mission. I want to write, publicly speak. I started a podcast where I can talk to anyone who wants to talk to me. Photograph beauty. Humans are beautiful too. The human condition, the human path, the human experience. Humanity is so odd yet beautiful. I am a complex individual, a style potentially unsuited to people who don't enjoy chaos while calm or the reverse. Complex. A creature of duality and polarity in ways unbeknownst to even themselves. I have surprised myself. This may be my life, my page, but like all things that I do, it is not just my space. I am here to teach, inspire, motivate, and entertain. I am here to love and be loved. I am here to learn, grow, connect, and create. I am no longer just the Wolf Mars. I am no longer baby Wolf Mars alone either, nor am I little moon wolf. I am the Digital Quill, someone who embodies the digital and physical elements of the natural world, or will try to, anyway. Someone who exists online and off, a wolf, a human, a digital entity dead set on connecting and creating not just me to you, but to others beyond either of us. Let's keep going, humans and more of Earth. So let's talk about that, I guess. I had it in my calendar, or my lengthy to-do list, to edit this bio page because this was an account, a place that I haven't really been on in a while for a lot of personal reasons that I won't get into. And it's interesting to me because I had written it, I had spent the time writing it, I was with someone else when I was writing it, and I forgot that I wrote it, actually. I forgot that I had already crossed it off of my to-do list. And I went back and I read it, and I was about to edit it, but then I was like, wait a minute. I did edit it. Now, I know that probably doesn't make sense, but like, have you ever done something and then forgot you've done that thing, but then realized you did do that thing? I know that sounds like an ADHD thing, but I know the difference between my ADHD memory forgetting and just normal forgetting when it's like really weird. I ended up reading through this with like a fresh set of eyes, completely forgetting that I wrote it, and I'm like, who wrote this? Did I write this? But then there's the little things in here. I'm here to teach, inspire, motivate, and entertain. Someone who exists online and off. Let's keep going, humans. Like, my voice is in there, but like, it's so clinical. Like, I don't feel like I can edit this bio anymore. Like, I think that says everything I need it to say. It's weird. I don't know if I like that. That is a weird concept. Humans are a weird concept to me. I don't understand us. I don't know if I'm supposed to understand us, or if I'm supposed to just live as a human being and not figure out what human beings are. I don't know. What say you to that? What say you to that? I think last time, moving on to another subject, I think last time we talked a little bit about the Unsealed community. Well, let's talk about that more, especially since there is a new topic right now, to write a letter to your self-doubt, which, by the way, I have already named the self-doubt I'm writing my letter to. Write a letter or poem to your self-doubt. We all have that inner voice that questions our worth, second guesses our dreams, and whispers fear into our hearts. It is time to confront that voice head on. Write a heartfelt poem or letter that addresses, write a heartfelt letter or poem addressed directly to your self-doubt. Speak to it, challenge it, and tell it why it won't win. Here, I guess I could just do this. Here. Write a letter or a poem to your self-doubt. Tell it why it won't win. It is due August 23rd. I don't have a lot of time left. Will she submit it within hours before? Probably. I think last time I might have read this one out loud. Maybe. Who knows? Hold on. Let me see. Actually, go here. Okay. So, talking about the Unsealed again, because I love this place with all of my heart. Especially after last time. The last Zoom meeting I was in, which took place on, let's see, pull up my email here, figure that out. But the last Zoom meeting that took place for the last contest, I think, write a letter to a place that changed you. And I know I've shared that one with you guys, but I'm gonna share it again, mainly because speaking poetry shit out loud is, I think, actually supposed to help you, especially if you have speech impediment problems, but also, like, just as a writer, creator, I don't know. Speaking things out loud is sometimes nice. Let's see, August 6th. So, yeah, 5 days ago, I had another Zoom meeting with the Unsealed. And I think I've reached that point where I will not skip them anymore, because there were a few I skipped, even though I agreed to be a part of them, and I did myself a disservice with that. I know I've talked about it before. I know I've said that the community itself is just filled with love and compassion and empathy, and being in those calls with everyone and listening to other people's stories. Like, how could you hate that? How could you hate human connection or love? I don't get it. But the last Zoom call with writing a letter to a place that changed you, everyone had, in my particular meeting, everyone had written a place to, like, written a letter or poem to, like, an actual place, like a street name, a location, a state, a town, a corner. I wrote mine to my mind. I wrote mine to my brain, and there were some stories there that were really touching. I don't want to, like, just share them out loud, because I don't feel that it is my place to do so. I know you guys have heard me probably say something along the lines before of, I don't really like regurgitating other people's stories, because, one, that feels inauthentic to me. I want people to be able to tell their story themselves, which is why having guests on this podcast is important to me, because I don't want to just be like, oh yeah, that one time this one friend told me about this. Like, no, I don't like doing that he said, she said bullshit. Like, first-hand experience matters a lot to me. I take everything with an absolute grain of salt, unless I am experiencing it myself, and even then. Because not all experiences are real. Sometimes you have confirmation bias. A lot of times you have confirmation bias. The last meeting opened up my eyes in a way. I like going as an observer, and this time I'm trying to be more active. The last few meetings I've been a part of, there was one human in particular who would always leave comments after every single person's, like, poem or session that they would read out loud. And I like that. I like that they were doing that, and I was terrified of doing that. A part of me still am. It's like, no one wants to hear what I have to fucking say. I mean, why do I need to leave a comment? But then I think of moments like back in the day when I was probably 7 or 8 years old. My family and I had gone to Cracker Barrel, and there was this girl standing outside of her car. She might have been like 13, 14, maybe 15, 16. Hoodie on over her head. She looked sad. She looked really sad. Like, I looked at her and I just saw this depression, this cloud. Something that I kind of understood a little bit myself at that point in my life. And I remember I looked over at her, we locked eyes across the parking lot, and I smiled at her. And she smiled right back. Like, I didn't expect that. That was crazy. But I made an action, and a reaction of the same thing happened. A smile for a smile. And that made me feel good, because I was like, here's this human who was so gray and sad, heavy. And all it took for her to brighten up a little bit, for that energy to lift, was a smile. And I was like, oh, stuff like that. It's stuff like that in comment sections of the Unsealed on Zoom meetings and in comment sections across the various social media platforms where people are encouraging each other and lifting each other up that are like, okay, why am I afraid of that? Why am I afraid of fucking leaving a comment and being like, wow, that poem was so good. It made me feel this way and that way. And here's why. Like, why do we do that to ourselves? When something could be good or positive or productive or kind, why do we stop ourselves from allowing that to happen? That's a question I want you to answer for yourself if you can. Because I think I have my answer. Or at least I'm starting to assemble some type of answer for that. And by assembling an answer, I will have a solution to never let myself spread happiness and love again, because that is what I want to do. I don't want to be a depressive, trauma-dumping blob all the time, which I can be. I don't know if you've been here before. If you've seen episode 9, was it? 9 or 11? One of those episodes. Ugh. But that's humanity. That's the human experience. That's the flip side of the human experience, the bad part. So what are you going to do? Let the bad parts fester? Or are you going to join places like the Unsealed and like smile at strangers and open doors for people instead of scowling? Smile. And I know people hate being told to smile, especially that cliche of when men tell women to smile. Oh, you'd be so much prettier if you just smiled. Fuck you. For one. Everyone knows that. And number 2, why don't you? Why don't you smile when you're feeling like frowning? But yeah, like, I don't know. The Unsealed has opened my eyes, and every single session I have, they open my eyes in a different and new way. And I almost wish I could record every session. Like, I know Lauren Brill, like, she records the sessions herself through Zoom. But, like, I wish I could do that myself. I would feel bad and weird, and I don't think that's okay. I don't think I'm supposed to, but I would like to, because I would like to be able to, like, review everyone and, like, not review, but, like, re-experience that from the outside. So, like, in the Zoom meetings, I'm there. I'm crying, I'm listening to people, I'm taking in their words, I'm taking in their emotions, I'm taking in their stories, they're taking in mine when I'm presenting. And I don't really get the chance, which is my favorite thing to do, to step outside of it. And I do. I mean, I was there, I get to step outside of it, but, like, to actually step outside of it, to view it not just through memory and experience alone, but through medium. I don't know what I'm trying to explain, but, like, it is certainly an experience. It is certainly a weird feeling, and it's one of the things that make me realize that even though I am a naturalist, I prefer the trees over circuit boards. I also like circuit boards. Circuit boards are cool. Technology is cool. Like, that is one of the things humans are technically supposed to do, is innovate, progress, not destroy and degress. Kumbaya. 20 minutes of me fucking rambling about absolutely nothing. My brain hurts. My brain hurts a lot. I've been fighting headaches a lot. I had a really bad episode the other day. Actually, before episode 51. Yeah, the day before I recorded episode 51, which, by the way, I've been told and cautioned by some people not to promote or talk about prior episodes or prior guests when in certain episodes or whatever, and I'm like, I get that. But I can't exactly delete the things I'm saying as I'm saying them, like I can in text messages. typing posts. So, forgive me if I do talk about prior episodes on your episode. It's not to take away the light. It is to compare, contrast, analyze, learn, grow, figure out. I like connecting the dots, and as I have found out the other day, I like webs a lot. And the funny part about webs is there are just so many lines. Intersecting lines, lines that connect to other lines that connect to other lines. And for a long time, especially when I started Substack, God damn, I remember when I started this. Okay, so let me reel this back. This is a new subject, by the way, that also ties in the original subjects, but also completely new. When I first started the Digital Quill Press, the umbrella I like to call it, I knew, just through being online, that one of the most powerful things I could probably do for my engagement or whatever, because this is social media land, apparently that stuff matters. Not that I want it to, but it matters. I fucking hate that it matters. The more things I had connecting, the more things I wanted to do that I had connecting. The blog, the podcast, the photography, the writing, the book, the blog, the podcast, the photography, the writing, the book, because if you haven't figured it out, I am a little bit of a omni-seeker, a renaissance sim, jack of all trades, master of none, which, by the way, did you know, because I didn't, the jack of all trades, master of none has an actual full quote, and apparently it's by William Shakespeare. Did you know that? I didn't, and I should probably start researching the phrases I use, because that was certainly a thing to learn. A commonly misquoted phrase. Here, check this out. I found an article that might actually be kind of fun to read together. A commonly misquoted phrase says, "Jack of all trades, master of none." The full quote actually reads, "A jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one." Engage your curiosity about everything. Possessing skills in multiple areas is valuable. Learning even a little bit about business, philosophy, physics, coding, economics, etc. might put you in a position of immediate value in almost any group. Basically, be a T-shaped person. A T-shaped person is someone who has specialized knowledge and skills in a particular area, as well as the desire and ability to make connections across different disciplines. Well, by the way, guys, fun fact. Very, very, very fun fact on that one. When I figured out the rest of the quote, I was like, so I am a jack of all trades. And I am a master of none, because I am interested in so many things. Just to name a few: theology, philosophy, sociology, psychology, physiology, I think I already said that one, fucking the study of anything, metaphysical science, regular science, astrophysics, astronomy, astrology, I guess numerology, spiritualism, all religions, all world religions, all prior religions, ancient civilizations. There are so many things that I am interested in just on a daily basis. That is not including the things that strike my interest or fancy on a whim. If you've ever played The Sims, you know how they have little whims that pop up in their head and you have to complete those. Yeah, well, guess what? My life is a lot like a Sims, and it sometimes scares the fuck out of me, because am I real? Or am I just a sim in a petri dish in the middle of the Milky Way, created by some fucking alien? I don't know. But I'm here with you, and hopefully we can figure that out together. And if I'm on my own for those existential questions, well, that's fine. That's okay. Been alone here before. It's fine. I say as my hands start sweating and I start thinking about all the rabbit holes I've jumped into and all the rabbit holes I will jump into and all the rabbit holes I've jumped into just in the last 48 hours. Wow. I've had a lot of life happen in the last 48 hours and I feel like I've done nothing. Life is weird. Life is really weird. The more you sit around and think about it and like ponder it and ask question after question, life is weird. Do not change my mind, because you can't. I've tried. That is an impossibility. I will not be... My life is weird. You won't change my mind on that one. I wish my mind could be changed. It would make life a lot less weird. Oh, son of a bitch. Son of a fucking bitch. Alright. In one of my podcast episodes, or in a super secret after show with one of my guests, I think it was Aether, we talked about curiosity. No, wait, was it Aether or was it Jonathan for reals? All of you are blending together to me now. I'm sorry. Oh my god. Correct me in the comments if you know. That actually... Yeah. Correct me in the comments if you know. Because I don't... And I haven't rewatched any of my episodes, which I should... At least a few of them. I should at least watch the first one with Aether, because there's a ramen recipe in there, and I might be getting a ham bone soon. Ham bone. I really want to make that homemade ramen, because there's this place that I love going to that has the best ramen. It's just down the road, and the lunch special is only $13.50, and it's so cheap. Sorry, I'm in pain. Curiosity killed the cat, full quote. I love how that is the second thing on here. Yep, that is neat. 10 quotes you're getting wrong. Ooh. Here we go. 10 quotes you're getting wrong. I will leave these links in the description below for you guys, especially since I'm sharing them. You think you know a saying. You've heard it over and over and over, so you never questioned it. Maybe you should. It turns out that many quotes we all know by heart are incorrect. Sometimes they're a word or two off, and sometimes they are way different. So before we continue, let me switch back to that. It's interesting that we are discovering this. I am discovering this. We are discovering this together, because the first one I discovered was Curiosity Killed the Cat. I always thought that was a bad quote, a bad saying. Like, curiosity killed the cat. Don't be curious. Being curious will kill you. Yes. And no. I went ahead and scrolled to the Curiosity Killed the Cat one. The earliest known printed reference of this phrase dates back to 1912 as part of a proverb printed in the Tootisville Herald newspaper. I don't know if this is true. This is an interesting little Grammar Party blog, although I have a feeling grammarpartyblog.com 2016 8/9. 8/9? Wow, that's almost 10 years old. Interesting. Curiosity killed the cat. It reads, Curiosity killed the cat, but the satisfaction brought it back. This time, the real quotation differs drastically from the well-known version. The cat doesn't stay dead. He comes back to life once it's satisfied, from eating ghost mice, perhaps. Here. Go ahead and read it and weep. Ah! Yeah, the cat doesn't stay dead. So, being curious and potentially being the cat, I might have actually heard the original saying at one point back in the day when I was like a little kid. Okay, like little kid. So it probably didn't stick. And this is like the whole interesting thing to me when it comes to these quotes, especially after Jack of all trades, master of none. Ooh, that's a good one. Nice. Okay, we're gonna read through these for sure. But, this might be a longer episode on accident. Good. My headache might go away. My neck is swollen, so it's probably not going to. Ugh. Fucking TBI. I hate it. I need more reishi and lion's mane mushroom in my life. Ooh, mushroom coffee. I need to get some mushroom coffee. I don't know where to go for that. Trader Joe's? Sprouts? Online? I don't want to order my food online. I have yet to do grocery delivery food, which is a very convenient thing, but I like grocery shopping myself. Sorry. Anyway, what was I going with it? Oh, it's interesting to me that these quotes are changed or are dumbed down. Because what we are seeing here is like a weird game of, like, in a way, the weird game of telephone where, like, I've explained this game before, but you sit in a giant circle with other people, right? And you whisper something to one, and you have that person pass it around, and by the time it gets back to you, it is a completely different phrase or whatever, right? Fucking game of telephones. This is why you don't want to believe too many rumors. As I said earlier in this episode, everything with a grain of salt, unless you have seen it yourself, because even then, perspective is everything. Perspective and, there was another one. Perspective, and, I forget. But yeah, it's interesting. It's like, the fun fact of this is like, we're dumbing down these phrases, and it's almost harmful in a way. Because, like, imagine, go away, email. I don't want to read you. Go away. Bad email. Bad. But it's almost like, in a way, that we're dumbing down these expressions, and it's almost dangerous, because if I had just left it alone at the curiosity killed the cat, or like someone else, if someone just left it alone that curiosity killed the cat, they might not be curious anymore. That didn't really stop me, but they might not be curious anymore because they don't want to think about a dead cat. I don't want to think about a dead cat, and now I'm thinking about a dead cat. Great. But great. But if they said the full saying every time, curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought it back. 9 lives, cats, curiosity. Yeah, like, I don't know. What are your thoughts on the dumbing down of phrases when it comes to 10 quotes you're getting wrong? Like, I don't know. Here, let's go back to reading through these. Be the change you wish to see in the world. So the very first one, what Gandhi actually said was, as a man changes his own nature, so does the attitude of the world change towards him. We need not wait to see what others do. The real quote is quite different from the popular version. It's saying that personal and social change happen together, not that personal change alone is enough. I feel like this is gonna grossly simplify this, but before we move on to the nice guys finish last, this is probably grossly simplifying it, and it's probably not even hitting the nail on the head right away, but personal change alone is not enough, right? Social change and personal change happens together. In other words, one of the things that I think we could like pull from this is what I'm about to say is almost gonna sound like putting yourself on display for the whole world to see. And I don't mean like that. I don't mean become an egocentric maniac where you're like, hey world, look at me and only me. No, don't do that shit. There are far many other experiences in this world. The world does not revolve around you. Unfortunately, it revolves around a lot of other things. You are included, but it revolves around a lot of other things too. Change doesn't happen on its own. You kind of have to choose change. And actually, segueing. That's a perfect segue. Not that one. We'll do that one in a minute. Yes. Okay. This is taking it back to well, oh, this one is still, you can still vote on this one? Wow. So if you guys like my letter, please vote on it. That would be nice. Or don't, actually. Honestly, just vote for other people. Don't vote for me. I don't need that attention. Write a letter to a place that changed you. And this was kind of what I was talking about earlier with the Zoom meeting. So, an interesting thing that some of the humans in the Zoom meeting said was that even though they were writing about places and like specific street names, a couple of them said that what was it? What did they say? A couple of them said, and I think even Lauren mentioned this, that it's interesting that, like, even though these places, like, are the things we name that change us, really it's ourselves. It's our brains and our minds and our hearts and desires and wants that change us. We make that change. It isn't necessarily a person or a place or an object. It's us. That's actually something I struggled with when writing this, because I was like, I need to write a place that changed me. A physical place. I need to write about Texas or Las Vegas or northern Arizona or Phoenix or the home that I grew up in or the house that I lived in for like less than a month or just any of that. And nope, I couldn't. I wrote this. Oh, and I shared this in the Zoom meeting, because I really, really love this detail. But this picture, because you have to submit a photo in order to submit your submissions. I try almost every time. There are a few that I didn't make a lot of an effort on, but I try almost every time to like have a specific photo image per the challenge, because as a photographer, an artist and writer, and I was like, this might work. And since the subject was to write a place that changed you, and my subject was my mind and myself in a fucking dumbass way, I decided that I would use a little light thingy I have. And then the book, the Unseal Your Letters, or the Unseal Your Self-Love Letters to Yourself, or whatever. It's a book I'm published in. Okay, I'm published in a book. If you didn't know that now you do. And if you want to get the book, you can get it on Amazon. It won't help me, but it'll help the Unsealed. Get it on Amazon, and if you see me out in the wilds, I will sign it. I'm going to say that every time I talk about this book, because I really love the poetry in it. Not mine. I really love the poems in it. Everyone that wrote their own self-love letters, like, they each have something to teach and share with you, not just about themselves but about you, and it's like, I love that. Now I read, and then we get back to the quotes. Constantly changing. Hello there. My lips are too dry. Constantly changing. Hello there, place that changed me. Except you are me, aren't you? You hold all my memories and experiences. You comfort me and scare me. Truly, I can't be without you. Thank you. In 26 years you've endured. Still there, still here. Don't you see yet? You're the place that changed me. Change is weird, isn't it? Constant, loved, hated. But change is good. You changed me. You did. Do you know how? I could have been dead. I'm not. I could be behind. I'm not. I could be poor, but I'm rich with learning and love. You, the place that changed me, I adore. You're silly and crazy and always constantly with me. You're wise and funny, and a place that continues to change me. You've been an enigma, sometimes foreign, but you're a place still changing me. I'd like to think I know you, and just maybe, I do. And just maybe, I do. Now, when you think about change, think about it in broader aspect. When you change yourself, when you change your habits or your rituals or your daily needs and wants, how do other things, other people, other places, other changes respond to that change? There's a reaction there, no? And not all reactions are positive or negative. Some are neutral. Some are a combination of the three. There's a lot of ways you can kind of pull the quote. As a man changes his own nature, so does the attitude of the world changes towards him. We need not wait to see what others do. There's a lot of ways we could pull that, but I want to move on because I also need to ponder that one on my own. Be the change that wants to see. Yeah. To simplify it, to simplify my thought process on this one, it's saying that personal and social change happen together, right? To simplify my thoughts on that one, social change is not without personal change. In order for you to personally change, social part needs to change too. So it's almost like a form of saying as above, so below. It's also like a form of saying, an interesting example of something my mother taught me growing up. I really both love and hate that one of my most complicated and painful relationships is also like one of my foundations and basis for understanding myself and just spirituality, anything. It's so weird. It's not a bad weird, but it's also like, what? Anyway. My mother taught me, and I actually got to witness this one day because I had the lights set up on the pool in a very specific way. If you throw in a pebble into the water, you see the ripples rippling outwards. But what you don't always see is that those ripples come back. As a matter of fact, you're probably not going to see that unless you have lighting set up in a specific way. I did one time, and it kind of tied things together for me in a weird way. It's like, it's almost like explaining karma. And I have a hard time with the standard definition of karma. I think there are many types of karma. Deviating a little bit from the change. So we're going to move on to the nice guys finish last. This saying has been attributed to Leo Durocher, the Baseball Hall of Famer, also known as Leo the Lip. What he really said when referring to an opposing team was, all nice guys, they'll finish last. It's not quite as catchy. It still gets the point across. I think that one's way too simplified. That is an interesting example of how sayings or quotes in the media end up becoming a form of pop culture. Because if we Leo the Lip. What he really said when referring to an opposing team was, all nice guys, they'll finish last. You have this baseballer, right? You have this baseballer, and they're talking about another team. They're like, they're all nice guys. All of those guys over there, all of those other baseball players, they're all nice of them, or all of them are very nice guys. But they're gonna finish last. Last inning? Last baseball? Any of you baseball fans? Are any of you baseball fans? Do you know who Leo the Lip is? Do you know that saying? Because I clearly do not. We already did curiosity kills the cat, so going back to here. The end justifies the mean. Do you think Nicolo? Oh, the end justifies the means. One must consider the final result, which doesn't really have the same ring to it. Yep. The end justifies the mean. However, it's nowhere to be found in The Prince. The closest to this Italian philosopher and writer got was, one must consider the final result. It's, again, another weird example, an interesting example of how media... Did I accidentally stumble across a rabbit hole to jump down? See just how far back all of these quotes go and what they actually mean? I might have. Interesting. The next one is power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. Famous British historian. British are coming. Sorry, I'm reading things out loud. Or not out loud, to myself. Out loud to myself in my brain. Check it out. I know I'm going to put this in here, but power corrupts, absolute power corrupts, absolutely. All those high school social studies teachers have it wrong. The true quote is, power tends to corrupt, absolute power corrupts, absolutely. It's attributed to Lord John Dalberg Acton, a famous British historian. Yeah, I'm probably going to butcher names, so I'm sorry. I didn't really read this one because I don't care about country. Not as much as I used to. The British are coming. The British are coming. Nope, Paul Revere never said this on his famous horse ride. It's believed that what he did say was, the regulars are out. This one was interesting, though, particularly, Houston, we have a problem, and that's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. I'll let you read those while I sip my coffee. Which I have now reheated too many times. And, interesting. I think my pen is out. I need to get more pens. I mean, I don't need to. I want to. Yeah, it's almost out. Sorry. 49 minutes. Jesus fucking Christ. pretty much the part that I was laughing at the most was, does this mean you can't say these things any longer? No, not really, but it is prudent to note that there are variations of the true quotations. Plus knowing the difference will make you look smart. I don't need to look smart because I'm not. I am not smart. Just me. On to the next thing. I want to read another poem to you. I don't even remember how we got on the quotes thing. Oh, curiosity killed the cat, and then jack of all trades, master of none, and how those are actually not the... Because I figured that out today, actually, about the jack of all trades thing. Sigh. Quick and easy winter watercolor landscape painting. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how to paint. Okay, so I don't know if I've recently done this one, but this is the most recent one. And this is to write a thing. I know I did this on TikTok, on the Digital Quill Press TikTok, because I have 3 or 4. One, it's completely private for digital diary shit, which I still need to change up how I do that, because TikTok might get banned in September, a day after my birthday. Who knows? It was only banned for like 13 hours last time. What is this fucking world we live in? Anyway, show everything. No, just show letters. Votes, group updates, new members. Okay. Are you? Yes, you are. Are you able to see? Yes, you are. Okay. I could have just also done it this way. Okay. I know I wrote this I spoke this out loud on TikTok, and if I somehow end up moving on to the next round, I'm going to end up speaking it out loud there too. Please no. I don't want to get that email, but I might. I don't know. It's random. Dear younger me, here is proof I rise. Dear 2021 Mars, I'm sorry I didn't see all the truth and pain that was right in front of me. Love and light were locked up pretty tight. We were wounded in ways we couldn't name just quite yet. Every choice this year felt like a gut punch in the soul, a pricey toll. The choices made still resonate today. Your hands were tied, laced with lies. Every step that ached led you to who you are today. You had to do scary things you didn't think you could, leaving that world behind. I'm watching you shine. Stuff is just things, but the memories and stories they bring. Don't dare compare. You're far more aware. You learned a lot about family and the things you couldn't name, such as the shame you felt when they spoke your name. In April, the weather was stormy and gray, and by May, life needed to carry you away. June, July, just a few more lines. By August, it was obvious and all too painful. The storm that was brewing had been brewing forever, but it had finally become unstable. Not that it wasn't unstable before. Every try a band-aid in place of a stitch, every cry a plea that couldn't fix. A call, a lie, another sleepless night. It still hurts, I fear, but it's okay, I swear. You're more aware of the person you don't want to be, of the mother you won't let yourself be, of the person you are today. I don't have many words to say. Friends and people alike think you're so strong. In truth, they're not wrong. But deep down, it stings you to the core, because you know more. You know where you could have been better, and where others could too. No contact looks good on you, but it stings just the same. The pain no one names. You rise in every way, from ashes to whole, from scars and cracks. It doesn't take away the wishes or the hope, and that spark that won't come back. You want them here. I'm sorry, dear, and the losses we gain though too. A new definition of family and the people that come with it, and love too. Because love has always been around you. My dear sweet 2021 Mars, I'm sorry life is so turbulent, like a never-ending storm. It kind of stays that way, but the good news is you can tackle it differently. Bad doesn't always have to mean bad. After all, failure is just another lesson in the school of hard knocks. Keep going, kid. Your almost 27-year-old self demands it. Because this here is proof you rise. Just read between the lines. That is a message to myself. I'm always reading between the lines. In every song, in every book, in every conversation, in every argument, I am reading between the lines, sometimes to my own detriment. That right there is a little reminder. I've probably touched on 2021 and some of the choices I had to make there. That was the year that I got in my accident and broke my chest. That is the year that I left my family home and never looked back. A home that I grew up in for 22 years. I left behind everything. I brought only what I could really carry with me and the things that I remembered too. And that's kind of the part where I say stuff is just stuff, but the memories they bring. I never got a chance to find my dad's necklace that had his ashes in it, or the little tiny urn that we used to collect his hair in, or all my pictures. There were thousands of them, or most of my books. But I have memories of all those things. Memories of playing with them, memories of getting them, memories of being with my family and friends with them. The few friends that I did have every now and again. There were a few of you that got me through school. Now I have more than I did back then, and I have no idea what to do with any of you. Holy fucking crap. Game day, anybody? That's all I got. Ugh. This life is so different than it was even a year ago. Jesus Christ. But, yeah. Yeah, every single fucking thing in here is a read between the line for me. No contact looks good on you, but it stings just the same. I still think about it. I still think about it every fucking day of my life. And I remember crying myself to sleep after making this decision and pulling the plug and being like, I can't do this anymore. I need to go. So bad times are just times that are bad. That's funny because that is actually an Animal Crossing quote. Katrina, the little tarot madam something kitty. I think her name's Katrina. I don't think it's actually Katrina. I don't remember what it is actually, but it's an Animal Crossing character. And one of the quotes they use is they say, and remember, bad times are just times that are bad. And as a little kid, after studying theology and learning that quote from Animal Crossing, one of my favorite games even to this day, it is a bad moment, not a bad day. A bad day, not a bad week. A bad week, not a bad month. A bad month, not a bad year. A bad year, not a bad life. I've had a lot of bad years. Ooh, a lot of people in my life could attest that for you. I've known people who are currently in one of their worst years yet. I'm so fucking sorry about that one. I will do my best to be there for you. I know people who have experienced nothing but bad with minimal good, and I've known people who have never had a single bad day in their life, at least not like, I don't know. Comparison is the thief of joy, and it's also the thief of experience. Comparing to be like, well, that person has that and I don't. That is like that is robbing yourself of your own experience, because you're like, oh, well, I'm gonna focus on these experiences over here on this person's world instead of the ones that I currently have. Sorry, that was probably a side tangent. So yeah, I believe that it is not a bad life, that we can find some form of semblance of goodness, positivity, progression in our day-to-days, in our individual selves. I don't think we can find that in a cookie cutter style format of anything. There's pen all over my hand, by the way. Or I don't know. Next subject, potentially? Or should I just end it here because this is an hour long? Let's see, actually, I read that one, so maybe we read another little poem thingy. Doo-doo-doo. Oh, hello, DJ. I kind of want to go back. This is actually a really good poem to read. Here. Write a letter about a turning point in your life. My tattoo. Dear Mom, I'm sorry about last time. Dear Mom, I'm sorry about my last letter. Guess that was a big event for you too, huh? Our last words will be our last. I can't tell you all I want to say. I want to, but I can't. At least not to your face, like always. I miss you. I love you. I'm sorry. 1,000 times sorry. I had to go. I had to. 2021 was his 10th year anniversary. And for each of those years, I did my best. I was still a child, Mom. Where did you go? Why were the walls of your room better than being with me? I wasn't your natural born. I sure know that now. She made sure of that. Sorry about my last letter, Mom. It took me months to find the courage to say goodbye to the only person I ever knew, the meaning I gave my life, taking care of you. You wouldn't know, Mom. I cried myself to sleep for months after it, wondering if I did the right thing, even though I had everyone's full support. I tried. I gave my everything. I tried until I couldn't. It ended with us, and I'm the only one left out, like always. I wanted the best for you, but I wanted the best for me too. Neither of us was that. I tried until my detriment. I tried. You were my world. It has been some time, but life is better now, and like before, it will get better again. I miss you, Mom. I hope you're doing well. I think about you almost every day. I'm sorry I couldn't stay. I know why. Every day I wish I could come back to when it was good. Somewhere you started hating me. Maybe I had too much of my biological father in me. I don't know. You did often compare us to while I was growing up. What did you see in me that made you hate me? I love how that's not a question. Maybe I'll write again. There's still so much left to say. My letters will be to you like they are to Dad, addressed to the void and the stars, words left unsaid. Even in those unsaid words, I can say things are better. I can say I still love you. I can say I miss you. Goodbye, Mom, until we meet again, or until we meet in the void again. Let's talk about that. It's almost a, I didn't realize there was a theme on my unsealed letters there. Considers deleting every single account I've ever made anywhere on this planet. Really considering that heavy lately. There is such an emphasis on my life where I have had to create my own family. Biological father was forcibly removed by authorities in my life when I was 5-6 years old. Before my 6th birthday, actually. May before my 6th birthday. My biological mother, 19 days old, gone. Just gone. Decided meth and heroin were better and being a whore. And by an actual whore, I mean like she had 5 abortions before me. And I don't mean like that in a derogatory sense. I mean like she just did not have her priorities straight. Or her health straight. I hope she's doing better, even though I never got a chance to meet her. Not that I want to. She willingly gave up her parental rights over me. That was fun and jarring to learn about at 5. Oh, by the way, your biological mother immediately gave up her rights when we called to ask her about it for your adoption. Yay. Great. Did she want to talk to me? No. I'm sorry, sweetie. Being an adoptee is fucking amazing, and I know I'm saying that with sarcasm. Being an adoptee is interesting, and I know I have like a weird case because I was adopted by my grandparents, who I like grew up in their home from birth, and it's still a strange territory because I was raised by the silent generation and boomers. I was raised by a generation and a half of people before my technical biological parents' age. So I got a full wide world of different experiences and walking history. You want to hear about the Kennedy assassination, kids? My mother got to hear it on television while she was in school. Or was she in school? Or was it her kids that were in school? I don't fucking remember. I don't care. So I've always had a strange, non-traditional view of family because I didn't have a mom and dad who loved me. I had an adopted dad who wasn't even blood related to me, who was my grandfather, who I immediately started calling dad after I was adopted, who loved me. But very inconsistent parenting. Very, very inconsistent parenting. Yay! We love it. We love to see it. I fully acknowledge and am aware of all the things she did for me and how I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for some of the foundation that she gave me. But she also cracked that foundation. I've had to re-pour the cement a few times over just to fill in the cracks. Oh look, another poem idea. I've had to pour in cement just to fill in the cracks. That might actually fit the theme of imposter syndrome for write a letter to your self-doubt telling it how it won't win. I need concrete metaphors. It is 1 hour and 9 minutes into this episode, and I don't think I mentioned what number this episode was once. Good. The format is changing. The format is changing. The phone is ringing. If you know what that's from, props to you. If you know what that's from. props to you, because that is a really old show that I don't think exists anymore. Wow. Do the Backyardigans still exist, or is that a show that also disappeared? Are these things gonna end up with a reboot? Please no. Please no. No. Don't reboot some of these things, please. Anyway, I think, let's see, to deviate to a better, more happier topic. Exit out of this. I don't know what happier topic to deviate to. You know what? Fuck it. My tongue is stained from coffee. It's been a long episode. It is 12:35. I have like 2 hours before I have to be busy. And I still have a little bit of a headache. And I have a mountain of chores to do and other work to get done. So life is weird. And the reason I do these podcasts, episodes, and these blogs, and these books, and these ideas, and these conversations, and these episode posts, or TikTok posts and stuff, is because I think the human experience is both a valuable or invaluable and precious miracle. And it is a hard one. A hard existence that we live. And I don't want people to feel the same way I felt or experience things in the way that I've experienced them, because some of them, for lack of a better phrasing of words, are tragic. Absolutely fucking tragic. So I have this drive, this pull to share my experience, my humanity in every way I can. The natural, raw, real, unfiltered, unedited parts of life. The messy, the hard. On some level, it is selfish. Because I am doing this for me. I'm doing it to feel better, feel less crazy. But I'm also doing it because I want you, the viewer listening to this, the viewer watching this, to know you're not alone. To not feel like you're alone. You might be going through hell. You might be just getting out of hell. You might be about to enter hell. I don't know. But you're not alone. You're not alone in being human. You're not alone in having emotions and thoughts and feelings and being confused. You are human. And with that being said, human, keep going. Don't stop. Thank you for letting me give you my time, and thank you from the depths of my soul for you sharing your time with me. Keep going. Don't stop. Remember to breathe. And I will see you guys next time. Thank you for tuning into this episode of the Digital Quill Podcast. I'm your host, Mars Wilson, and I'm looking forward to having you on it as a guest, as a host, as anything. See you next time.